Jim, your mic's not on. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'm going to ask for is any agenda changes.
Staff have no changes this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Council, in the interest of Councilman Will being absent and being involved at the school for parent-teacher conferences, item number 1 under new business, I'd like to move to the end of the meeting to give her time to finish up the school and get here. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Jim, you good? Charlie? Okay. So we'll move that to the end of the meeting. All right. First thing I'll do is open for public forum. If anybody's here wishing to address the council, now's the time to do that. Come up to the podium, give name and address, and let us know why you're here.
Are we going to vote on the consent agenda?
Huh?
Are we going to vote on the consent agenda?
Public forum is prior to the
Oh, I'm
consent
sorry.
agenda.
I looked a little bit.
So seeing no movement from the gallery, I'll go ahead and close the public forum now. Ask for the approval of the consent agenda.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, after having reviewed the consent agenda as submitted, I would make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, consent agenda stands as approved.
Can I make a statement? real quick?
Sure.
The consent agenda, it's just got a bunch of housekeeping issues that we used to address one at a time years ago, and it took forever. So now it's been all compressed, we read it, and then we just approve them all at one time. That's what that's about.
Similar to what the school board does.
Yeah.
All right, we have no public hearing tonight, so we'll move on to unfinished business, and that's the distressed property at 217 Main. What do you have to say about that one, Ethan?
This was continued from the last meeting. You guys subsequently had the work session where the property was discussed, and a private party had expressed interest in looking at that property. That their review of that has not yet taken place. But obviously, the property is still in distressed property hearing.
Have you had contact with him, Pat? Okay,
I can reach out and make contact tomorrow morning and see what's up with that.
okay.
All right.
If you don't get an answer, let me know, I'll get
Sure.
one.
Yeah, I'll reach out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to table this until next scheduled council meeting. Continue to next scheduled council meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to continue the distressed property hearing for 217 Main to the next regular council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, that's continued. Now we'll move on to new business, and we moved item 1 to the end of the meeting, so we'll go on to item 2, and that's memorandum of understanding with Spring Lake RV Resort. And you might let us know what that's about, Ethan. I think I know.
Yeah, Spring Lake RV Resort has their own water system that qualifies there at the resort, and they currently do not have a certified, state-certified water operator. Under employment, they're required to have someone that is state certified to oversee particularly testing, sampling. Pat can probably explain the intricacies far better than I am, but they've essentially asked if the city, while they bring their staff up to speed to get that certification, if we would allow the use of one of our certified operators so that they can stay in compliance with their KDHE requirements. We are currently blessed to have 3 certified water operators on staff. Pat has gone and spoken to the ownership there. This would be minimal staff time commitment. We're not taking any sort of obligation for the actual maintenance or repair of their system. It's more on the paperwork, evaluation of how they're drawing their samples, sending those to the state for evaluation. And we did essentially draw up an MOU that calls for a $300 per month fee for that minimal incidental staff time that would be used. The MOU is good for a year, but can be canceled by either party with 30-day notice. They have the option to extend that for 1 more year if they would need to, based on those, how long it takes them to get someone certified. And we did build in there in the off chance we have to do something more involved that we would switch to an hourly fee, including trip charge, if there was something beyond kind of that routine functionality that's needed from our staff.
Okay. That's what I thought that was about. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, is it just an operator one, or?
I think they're small system.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, if there's no more questions or discussion, I'd make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Halstead and Spring Lake RV Resort for the use of certified water operators as employed by the City of Halstead and authorization for the city manager to sign.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to put this MOU in place with Spring Lake RV Resort. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Glad we could help them out. Next is Riverside Park Community Christmas Tree. That sounds like a Councilman Homewood favorite thing.
Yeah, so we've been in discussion, and as you guys know, when Macy was here from the Community Foundation, they talked about how they're wanting to start a Christmas display in Riverside Park that hopefully would be something enjoyed by both the community and be a draw for outside visitors. And talking about how we can support that beyond kind of the location and the electrical power. And you'll probably recall that we've had issues with the community Christmas trees that were purchased by the chamber. Those were, more functional kind of commercial grade, but we've had some really high winds in December. So looking at kind of the location, thinking even for this first year, as we build up, what would be something that could kind of be a centerpiece out there, at least make people start to see what it could be. And that talk out of having that community Christmas tree that could be celebrated. So we've been looking at a panel tree, which would offer more stability than kind of what historically has been bought. It does allow for subsequent panels to be bought to make it taller if we don't, people don't like how tall it is to begin with.
What about just planting a spruce tree out there? Anybody thought about that? Or is there
Most
no
people
good place?
think that that's an awful idea unless just how long it takes them to grow, if it gets diseased. There's a lot of things you can't control with a natural tree, and the one being growth to get it larger. But yeah, that's been brought up. Anyway, we have been working and just discussing at a staff level with the vendor that the Community Foundation's using for some of their preliminary lights, and the price point they're giving us for a 22 to 26 foot tall panel tree would be somewhere between 15 to 25,000, depending. That includes shipping, which is a substantial chunk. If we order before August 30th, it would be here in time for this year. It does come pre-made with ornaments, lights, tree topper. They have the option for 2 colors of lights on the tree if desired, or you can go single. And we also can get a 5% discount on the tree, again, if we order by August 30th. So just throwing that out there for impact. Grant would be here to also talk about it, but he is doing dog swim tonight, so.
Is that a cost share with the Community Foundation, or are they wanting us to outright buy that tree?
Oh, this would be a city purchase outright. They're putting their own funds towards other lights.
That was my question.
And they maintain it?
As well.
Who maintains it?
The tree?
Yeah.
It would be, we would basically treat it like a city
Okay.
decoration. So we would store it, our guys would set it up.
The number, what are the costs on this again?
15 to 25,000. So the shorter tree, cheaper cost.
So could you add to it from year to year?
Yes, you can, basically, you could start with, let's say, the 22-foot tree, and then you can just buy the next biggest panel to go under it, to make it taller in
So
subsequent
the
years.
22 footer starts at 15?
Yeah, including shipping, so.
It's up 22 feet's big.
I'd kind of want to look at the specs and stuff on something before we commit that much money to it.
Yeah, I would
This is a
too.
9-foot ceiling in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I think the
don't
one in the
think
church
it's a-
was like 14 feet.
Any
Horrible
pictures?
idea.
Yeah, I mean, and a panel tree, I guess for that is, it stacks basically.
Right.
Right.
So it doesn't have the center stability post that
So is it
snapped on us.
Is it like wood or is it
No,
like
it's a
wood
metal.
panels with the
It's a metal frame.
twigs, oh, it's a metal frame?
Yeah, that has basically a wraparound.
I'd like to see more specs
Okay.
on this thing.
I'd like to see more, I'd like to see some pictures.
I want to see the tree.
Yeah, I want to see the tree, yeah.
Or at least a spec sheet, maybe showing how it's constructed and stuff like
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of money without looking at something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's why we're bringing it up to see what information you guys would want. So,
You need a motion to table this until next meeting, or,
nope,
okay.
nope. We
If
can
we could
come
get
back.
something in the next one, that'd be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can start with the
could look
smaller
at
and then
it.
add to it each year, I think that might be, I don't know, but I'd like to see what it looks like first.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can run out to the timber and cut one down for a little chainsaw gas. Maybe if we can have that, next time, we're gonna set a work session, date. Maybe if we could have that information for that work session, we can make that part of that, Ethan.
Yep.
So, council, that being said, the next item is set a council work session date. Is this primarily for budget reasons, Ethan?
It'll be the last opportunity before you all, set the budget summary hearing publication, so.
When do you want to do this by?
We would request sometime during the week of August 18th.
Next week.
So, yeah, next week.
I'm free any day next week.
Same? I'll make it work.
Wednesday would be better for me, cause I teach on Tuesday and I think I have something on Thursday.
Yeah, I've already got commitments on Wednesday.
You do?
I have commitments every Wednesday,
What do you have available next week?
Thursday.
How's
That's
Thursday?
it. Thursday or Friday.
How's Thursday look for you, Jim?
I can make Thursday work. I can't do Tuesday.
Yeah. 21st.
That work, Ethan?
Yeah, we can make
Thursday, August 21st?
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock? Okay.
Gonna need a motion for that.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to set city council work session for 8/21 at 6 PM.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to set the next work session for August 21st at 6 PM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. That work session is set. We do have one executive session on the agenda tonight. And as soon as Ethan puts together that motion and Jim reads it, that's what we'll do next.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Halstead City Council recess into executive session to discuss performance of city employee, maintaining privacy rights for the employee, personnel matters of non-elected personnel, exemption KSA 75-4319B1 to include the city manager, the city attorney to reconvene at 7:35.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to enter into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those same sign. Where would you like to go, Ethan? Okay. We are back from our executive session. Is there any action to be taken as a result of? Hearing nothing from the council, we'll move on to the report section of the agenda. And the first section is governing body comments, and tonight I'll start with you, Denise.
Well, from what I've seen posted on Facebook, Old Settlers was a fantastic weekend. Unfortunately, I was out of town this weekend, but it looked like it was well done. I truly appreciated some of the old pictures that popped up from previous years, especially when we saw the Halstead Hospital and Hershey Clinic floats. That brought back some very fond memories of some very good past Old Settlers. So congratulations to the Old Settlers Committee, to all the city employees and everybody who volunteered for that weekend. It looked like it went off very well. Well done.
George.
Also enjoyed Old Settlers, but headed south from 6th and Main, it's almost as if that signal light has turned into a green light for a racetrack. It's just, they hit it and they just go flying down south on Main Street. And I'm wondering, is there anything that, Pat, do we have anything, something that maybe would indicate speed as somebody's going down there? There's been times, I'm sure people are hitting 50 miles an hour down Main Street. I mean, they're just hitting it hard.
On that new section right after you go over the slough.
No, right there at Sixth and Main,
Between 6th and 10th.
and they go shooting right past my house, and they're just almost smoking them. And there are some people who have little grandkiddos that play right there, and sometimes they're out there on the street on their bicycles. And I'm just wondering if there's maybe one of those digital signs that would indicate how fast somebody's going, how fast you're going. I don't know, something just to get a handle on the speeding.
It is residential, so it should be at 30.
What?
I just said, don't give them something to shoot for, they'll see the sign and say, oh, we can beat that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but no, it's an issue, and
Well, maybe we just need to talk to the chief and increase the patrols in that area.
it is an issue down there, and
Is
like,
there a particular time of day where you notice it's worse than any other where we can pin that down?
no, well, evenings, and on the weekends, it happens various times throughout the day, and some of them are kids and some of them are grown adults.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Charlie?
How about 6th and Chestnut?
Oh,
Yeah, school starts Wednesday, and yes, I'll be out there. I don't have a stopwatch with me. I got some horns I could use, but I was back. I want to echo some of what Denise said. I was very impressed with the car show this year, having a long history with automobile repair. I like to see the internationals, and I like to see the farmals. Someday we'll, if Alan could pull this off, we can get some two-cycle Johnny Poppers out there and have,
Oh, no. It's not a John Deere show. We gotta keep it international stuff.
no green, huh? Go green, okay. But anyway, I thought the exhibit at the Learning Center was outstanding. The parade was good. I mean, it wasn't as long as it has been in the years past, but it was good. Went through very well. I didn't get to see who the person was that sang the national anthem, but I think they did a great job. They really did. And it's fun to see the Lions band come up behind too, and so, yeah. All in all, it's a good weekend, good food.
Yep.
A lot of people were here. More, I think it's probably the largest attendance I've ever seen in the 53 years that I've been here, so.
Jim?
Ditto all the comments about Old Settlers. I didn't get to do much on Saturday, but I did on Friday night with the great race. And I, having years on the fire end of that, I kind of don't miss coming out on Saturday all that much. But I do want to also, in that same topic, talk about the people that run that thing off, having been the chairman of that for 5 years and being on that board for 10 years on the Old Settlers Committee. That is a great deal of work. And the people that run that off or do our thanks and gratitude on that, that's for sure. Okay. But that's it.
Well, I was out and enjoyed Old Settlers myself. Probably my favorite float in the parade was the one with the Dr. Buggy on the trailer. I thought that representing our history was pretty nice. Weather was definitely warm, but we've had warmer Old Settlers, so, but it would have been nice to get a cooler Old Settlers. Maybe we'll hope for that next year.
I'll put the order in now.
There you go. Well, let's move on to Ethan for his city manager report, and Councilman Will is here now, so when he gets done with his report, we can move on to that agenda issue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. The annual maintenance for the water tower and inspection has been completed. The city did experience one water main break during that time period that was promptly addressed. Looking forward, the city will be looking at exterior painting as needed maintenance item for the water tower next year. So staff will begin looking at options regarding that process. Public Works, after evaluation and request, has installed 2 deaf child area signs on Chestnut Street. With the recent rains, Public Works has continued to spray and fog for mosquitoes as weather conditions have allowed. Stormwater box on Second Street continues to be on the Public Works job list and will be a priority item to be addressed when the weather cooperates long enough for proper installation. Every time it rains, it delays them being able to get that storm box in there on Second Street. But it is aware, it is here, they are ready to install it when the conditions are right. A pre-build meeting is now on the books for the new ambulance, Medic 21, with the anticipated delivery date being the first quarter of 2026. Pre-inspection with the Board of EMS is currently underway for the EMS department with a review of quality assurance and general policies ongoing. And Director Lowe is currently at the KEMSA conference, or was last weekend. Despite the weather this summer, in terms of several cooler or rainy days, both the pool and Wedgwood appear to be performing at or above last year in terms of their seasonal revenues. Wedgwood is preparing for overseeding of rye and bluegrass in the near future, and efforts to ensure that irrigation in the courses in suitable growing condition is underway currently. I was remiss in my last manager's report not to congratulate and recognize the Halstead Police Department for their initial Buns and Badges community event held at the Halstead Pool. They had over 170 people in attendance and over 200 hot dogs were given out. And both staff and the public expressed positive feedback regarding the event. So just want to congratulate them on that community event that they held. City should complete our review and rating of the proposals for construction, engineering, and inspection services related to the Safe Routes to School Improvement Project by the end of this week, and then presenting the recommendation to you all as part of our next meeting in August to keep that project moving forward for its bid date in October. Staff continue revising and resubmitting reports to FEMA as they provide feedback to work through our request for public assistance related to the May 2024 derecho event. Concurrent has begun the process of lease termination of the acreage in the industrial park, which we anticipate will be completed no later than August 31st. The immediate effect is the loss of $10,000 in anticipated rental income for the remainder of this year and $32,000 in rental income for 2026, which combined represents about $2 million in revenue being taken out of the books. So staff will make the necessary adjustments to the proposed 2026 budget in light of those developments, and the Public Works Department has been apprised that maintenance and mowing of that acreage will be transferring back to the city. And I want to end by thanking all of the volunteers of the Old Settlers Committee for another great event this year. Your efforts to make Old Settlers a premier event for the community and our region are very apparent, and I would just, again, be remiss if I did not thank all the city departments for all the work they do behind the scenes in supporting those dedicated volunteers to make sure the event happens. And that is all I have this evening, unless anyone has questions.
Council, any questions of that report? Well, if not, we have one item left on the agenda, and that's under new business. It was labeled as number 1. It's the BESS prohibition ordinance petition, and Ethan can introduce what we need to look at there.
You have the certified petition per KSA 123013 You have, within your 20-day window still from the city clerk, certification of that petition, and you have an option to pass the ordinance, which would become ordinance 1345. As written, no alteration per what was submitted in the petition, or you forthwith can call an election and submit that same ordinance without alteration to a vote of the electors. If you take that course of action, then you would be wanting to adopt resolution number 2025-09, and both of those were in your packet for review.
And for it to go to a public election, it would be ordinance 07?
It'd be the resolution.
The
Resolution, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
So which direction you
Okay.
guys want to go?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a statement before I make a motion. The No Best group knows that pretty much I agree with you, I'm on your side. But also, have represented themselves as we the people. In my opinion, this is a 90-10 issue. 90% of the community doesn't want it. That being the case, there are still 10% of we the people that deserve to have their voices heard. There's a 2-year moratorium right now. Nothing is going to happen with this between now and November.
2.5.
2.5, I'm sorry. Nothing's going to happen between now and November. I believe, it's my opinion, that the other 10% still deserve the opportunity to have their voice heard. That's where I'm at on that. Unless anybody has.
I would like to address it. As you know, and as you've seen, I have not been a supporter of the BESS project either. And I think I've made that perfectly clear to you all. I also a realist on the fact that there's other people out there that have a differing opinion, that's for sure. And I don't know how many. I don't hear from them that much. I do hear from a few, don't get me wrong. So that has been, and I took I've taken several steps to kind of talk to people, send out stuff to see what the best opinion I can get. One thing about Old Settlers on Friday, got the chance, whether I wanted it or not, to visit about that. And I did any chance I had about it. And I still had pretty much the same result as I always have, just to say. And that's not saying that there wasn't people that come up and said, we want to see the process played out. I don't know if anybody said, we got to have BESS when they come up to me. I don't think I have ever had that. I think what I have had is people come out and say, we want to see the process run through. That's what they tell me. They don't necessarily say they want it or they don't want it, to be honest with you. And that's been that way the whole time through. So that's just my opinion on the deal, and that's the opinion that my opinion hasn't changed. So.
Unless anybody else has any questions or statements, Mr. Mayor, I make the motion to approve Resolution 2025-09, a resolution authorizing and providing for the calling of an election in the city of Halstead regarding proposed ordinance prohibiting Tier 2 and Tier 3 battery energy storage systems within the city limits of the city of Halstead.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 2025-09. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
All right, well, that does conclude our agenda. In regards to the BESS, I do want to say something. I understand, and I've been listening to the No BESS group, whether you believe it or not, and the real issue seems to be the lithium on the batteries. EOS Energy, which is that zinc-based battery I had talked about during my work session presentation. I'm actually going to meet with them later this week. So I want to look at their technology and maybe bring their experts to town to do a presentation on that zinc technology. Currently, they have that pilot project going on that's about ready to fire up in Lincoln, Nebraska. They have
Omaha.
a second project going on in Springfield, Missouri. So I'd like to hear from that group and see what they can put to the table. So that's what I'm working on. Other than that, we're done with our agenda, and I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, we are adjourned. Thank you, council.